here's a thought that it cropped up in a group sort of coaching that we did last week. And I thought it might be some gold in here for all the women out there who are more relatively new to their first time in management, first time in a C-suite, or maybe even as a CEO. I see it a lot, not just at this group coaching, but with a lot of other women that I coach. There is this general feeling that they need to keep proving themselves after they've got the job. I'll give you a tip. Men don't. They just don't. So don't. You don't need to. You have earned your right to be there. You don't need to keep earning it. Just show up and be fabulous. Now, if you're not getting your voice heard, though, don't crawl back in there. Don't sort of cross your arms, all that kind of stuff. Like, don't create stories in your head around it. Guys are just going to talk, right? That's just how they talk. No right or wrong in it, just how they do it. Just like women, we talk differently. But gentlemen, just a little aside, if you have other women in the group and you know that there's a bit of a male majority, you need to make sure that all the women are heard. Because if you're a foot taller, you're probably you're big and burly, they're probably not going to be heard. So there's a little International Women's Day tip for you as well. Just make sure, go around the room. But for the women, all you need to do is just stand up and just go, gentlemen. You don't have to raise your voice really loud. Gentlemen, sometimes you might need to go on the table. Gentlemen. And then you wait, pause, and then what will happen is you then say, here is my opinion on this. And you say it, you don't even have to raise your voice, just say it quietly. Now here's the other trick. Keep your chin down. If you keep your chin down a little bit, that naturally starts to drop your voice. Not so much that you get really deep, but what it does is it stops you a little bit from getting that higher thing at the end that Australian women in particular seem to have. That kind of thing at the end actually sort of helps you lose a bit of power. So there's a good tip for you. Lean into your femininity when you are outnumbered. Don't step away from it. Use it, dial it up. The female voice cuts through a lot of male voice. And here's what happens. You actually just soothe the room a little bit. You have infinite power and influence. You deserve the role that you have already been given. You do not need to prove it. You just need to believe it yourself.